welcome to Y Factor. I'm Shreya Upadhyay. Well, if the complexities of stock markets and shares and finances has always bedazzled you, here we are at Asia's largest undergraduate stock market festival at Sri Ram College of Commerce in Delhi University. With youngsters, we'll be talking about what they think about financial management awareness, why it's important for youngsters to think about how they spend their money, how they invest their money, and what basically stock markets. Let's go talk to them today. So I'm here at SRCC. Let's talk to students about what's happening here. Hi, what is your name?
My name is Divya Malu.
All right. So, as a youngster, how do you see the kind of financial awareness that we want in youngsters in today? Do you see that people are aware of financial management?
Yeah, like in our college, we have societies which are relating to finance, and I guess that's why our college is progressing because students are interested in this young age only. Yeah.
Absolutely, students are and youngsters are getting interested in how to manage their finances. Let's talk to another student here. Hi, what's your name?
My name is Myra.
Myra, like I asked Divya, there is a lot of talk about how to manage your finances, especially amongst youngsters, and now you guys will be going out of college and working there. How do you see that, awareness amongst yourself and your friends?
Yeah, basically it is a platform where you get exposure. So, as you said, finance is one of my things which I really like to do. So it is great to be here and like organizing these stuff, and it's super amazing because our society, D Street, is a society which is indulged more into finance and things.
Yes, and stockholding, is something which, as a youngster, I remember I used to find very complex. Can you simplify for our viewers, young India who's watching you, about what stockholding really means?
Stockholding basically means interaction between the the savers and the investors. So if you get to know these terms, you'll get understanding of stock market.
All right, let's talk to some other students as well who are taking part in this festival. And, we have been talking to students about financial management awareness. Hi, what are your names?
Vanshab Roy.
Sankalp.
How do you see that, awareness amongst youngsters that is so needed in today's time about financial management, the way you manage your finances, the way you manage your money and investments?
Basically, those are students who are from finance background or economic background who are aware of financials and.
And it's basically important for them, but obviously even for people who are not from that background, they also need to manage their finances well.
Yeah, see, like in a household, every housewife has to manage her house, and she has to see how the funds have to be used according to the food requirements and everything. So yeah, it's very necessary in today's world. And yes, funds need to be managed.
And this is considered to be one of India's largest stock holding oriented festivals. Why do you think it's important to have such festivals across India, especially for youngsters?
Yeah, to spread awareness about the things that are happening around the world, and yes, to make people aware about how important it is to manage funds, because every enterprise who manages its funds efficiently is able to stabilize and make profits.
Absolutely, it's important because we need that sort of stability financially, and especially at a young age, when you start figuring out how to manage your money, how to manage your finances, that's how you'll figure out the whole process eventually when you become a young professional. Let's talk to some other students as well about what they feel about the festival. Hi, what are your names?
Chesta.
Mehak.
Deep Jyoti.
So you guys are participating in this fest. I've been asking youngsters all around us, about the financial management awareness that youngsters have nowadays, and they need to have more and more nowadays. What's your take on that?
Well, I guess in the current scenario that we live in, we need to have opinions about the things that we confront, be it the policies or the what's happening around us. We need to know so that we have an opinion of our own and we deal accordingly.
And for you, like she said, that we need to have an opinion of our own. How important is it to learn to understand, how to manage our money and our finances from a very young age? How do you see that?
See, I feel that like general knowledge is very important. So current affairs and whatever is going on in the world is very important to know. And whenever we talk about financial management and all, of course, the economy works on it. So it's an important thing to work upon individually and as a group.
And for you?
I think today the world is so dynamic, everything is going on, and the fest has been organized to educate the people about the financial management thing, and there are people in this college from a lot of various backgrounds, so I think it's a very good initiative to enlighten about the fact.
And, as youngsters, do you guys discuss amongst yourself, whether it's financial management or anything related to, say, the economy?
Yeah, that's why we are here, right? From the young age, I come from Haryana, so there's not much interaction with people. We are only into books. But when you come here, there's exposure. So you get to learn things, and now you feel, you are very apart from the world. You get exposure, you get to know things. That's why we are here.
And, talking about economy, and in the context of Indian economy, what do you think the Indian economy needs to make it into a $5 trillion economy that the Prime Minister always talks about?
First, we the people have to be aware about what's good for the country. We have to be more indulged in investing in our own brands, instead of buying foreign products. That's what will improve the economy, in my opinion. That's what I have.
The domestic products should be focused more on rather than foreign products.
So Swadeshi is what we have to focus on, and of course the awareness, more and more investment that should come into our country from not just within the country but from outside the country as well. Let's talk to these guys. Hi guys, what are your names?
Vaishali. Smriti.
Litika.
Tell me, why is it so important to organize an event for youngsters like this which relates to stock holding and finances?
Because generally there are certain myths relating to investing and stock markets, so it's basically to clarify all those doubts. Like yesterday we had a panel discussion where various experienced leaders came up and they expressed their views, so it's really to clarify the viewpoints of the youngsters and to clarify all their doubts in their minds.
And this field is something which is full of mystery and excitement and this thrilling. You have to analyze, you have to be quick, thinking on the feet and everything. So it's just to give one of that kind experience to the people.
And I think investing is a very crucial part in the later age. Everyone needs to learn how to invest in stock market, and these competitions give a very basic overview as to how can you successfully invest and make profits at a later stage.
And exactly, you talked about later age, and that's why the foundation of which needs to be set right from a young age. But how do you see that? I've been, asking your friends around. How do you see the kind of awareness that we need in terms of financial management among youngsters, especially, whether it's yourself or your friends? How do you see that awareness growing?
It's like people are getting very much aware. They know the importance of being aware of what is happening around them. But I think events like this, where you interact with various people, where you come around with people who participate in events which give you an overview of how stock markets work, that is being very practical, and that's giving a very practical approach to you.
And yes, if I want to know how the stock market works and what are the different things, what are the various elements, so instead of reading it, I'm actually working on the ground. I'm participating in a competition which makes me more willing to think more, and that kind of feeling comes when you work on the ground actually. So we are giving a very unique experience to the people.
And, talking about stock markets, it's something which is, like you mentioned earlier, it's something not very many people understand the complexities of. If you had to simplify it for, somebody who's not from this background, or somebody like me who's not from this background, how would you simplify and make me understand what stock market really is?
So the competitions we had organized were of the very basic level, right? So the participants were told each and everything from the scratch. So a person who's not from this background can also learn what stock markets are, what are the basic terms used in the stock market, and how you actually can invest. So the motive behind these competitions is not just merely winning. I mean, that is something that is a secondary motive. The primary motive is to educate people, to let them know, okay, stock market is a venture where you can invest and you can make a lot if you know how to, like you know the basics and you know how to invest.
What are stock markets?
So stock market is basically a market where, as the panel discussion yesterday stated, like when you are sleeping, there should be a source which gives you income, and that's only stock market. So if you are very clear about how stock markets work, even if you are not very willing to take risk, it could be a very safe way, as generally there's a myth among the minds of people. So it's a market where you can invest, you can get profits, and you can be aware of what's happening in the world.
The foundation of financial awareness needs to be strong, and which is why such competitions are being held in Delhi University, and this is in fact one of Asia's biggest undergraduate stock market related festival that we are at. Hi, what is your name?
Hi, I'm Palak.
Palak, you are, I believe, one of the organizers, right? So I just asked your colleagues as well, why do you think it's important for colleges to hold such festivals? Why do you think young India needs to understand and needs to have financial awareness?
Yeah, so the thing is, finance is like one of the major part in everyone's life, and the thing is, like till class 12, we all study in a way that we are mostly into books, but then after coming to college, we get a space where we come out of bookish knowledge, and rather than just studying within just four walls, we just come out and explore it, because I think things come out better when we experiment with it. So being college students and being guided with our seniors and then our teachers, that we should work in a practical manner to understand these things better, because at the end what works in life is this practical knowledge rather than only the bookish knowledge. So I think this is a way by which we can apply the knowledge we have gained till date through these platforms.
And I've been asking your friends as well, if you had to simplify the stock market for us, because it is full of complexities. People who are not from your kind of a background don't really understand this, and a lot of people are also uninterested in it. What makes you interested in it? What is it? How will you explain the stock market to us?
So basically, I think in the simple words, what I can say, stock market, it's like an amazing place for me. Like I really love it, because these stocks, equities, these in everyday life we use those very normal products, these small products, but then they are also related to a company. And companies, these MNCs and these stocks are such a major part of everyone's life, and we just ignore it, and it's like something very potential that we can build up in future. And like if we go into that area, and rather than just going in jobs and all, this is something also very nice to explore.
So it helps build the economy. It is a very crucial part of the Indian economy, whether it's products, it's consumers, or it's stocks. It's very, very important for us to understand why stock holding is important. Let's talk to a few more people here who have been participating in the fest. Hi guys, what are your names?
Hi, my name is A Group. My name is Sejal.
And you are participants or the organizers here?
No, we're the participants. We're from Khalsa College.
All right. So, I've been talking to people here and asking them why they are participating in such a fest, which is supposed to be India's largest undergraduate stock market fest. Why are you guys participating in it?
Well, we are here for the Battle of Wits competition. It's a treasure hunt, so it's a fun thing to do, and you get to meet a lot of people. It's competitive.
And what makes you so interested in finances and stocks and money management?
Actually, we are from Max, and we are just exploring some new things.
Some new topics.
I think
about it. It's like basic. You need it in your daily life also, especially as an adult. So it's good to know, good to learn.
Yeah, that's a good thing that there are people, there are youngsters who are not from this background who are still coming out to explore and understand finances. But are you guys how aware are you guys in terms of your money management?
Okay.
Not much.
So where do you take your help from?
From mom and dad, mostly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so mostly that's the case, it's either our parents, or if it's young professionals, they hire a CA to do their job. But I'm sure you think it's important, right, to have an awareness of financial management, where your finances are going, how your money is spent. How far do you think such events lead to that kind of an awareness in youngsters?
Well, you at least get to know the basic things. You then can look into it further also, now, if you get the interest. And these things are required one way or the other. So you will eventually have to. So it's better if you do at an early age, when you can ask a lot of doubts.
So I've got Gursimran with me, who's the Vice President of D Street. Hi, Gursimran.
Hi.
So I've been talking to people here, about the event and why they're participating in it. But since you are the Vice President, I'll ask you, why is it important to have such events at the undergraduate level?
So basically, at undergraduate level, we don't have a platform to make students aware about financial markets, about how to manage their personal finance. I feel like personal finance is a thing which everyone should know at the very beginning of their career and at the very beginning of, like, at a stage when they're still studying. Okay, but nobody is making them aware. Our college curriculum, our syllabus is such that we don't get aware about that. So this is something which we guys try to make them aware, if not make them proficient enough, just to make them aware that what it is. Okay, so that these guys can help themselves out in their future. Every year we organize this thing so that they can make such decisions in their life which are actually helpful them for their in their future.
And how do you see, as a youngster, how do you see that awareness within yourself and your friends about how to manage your finances? Do you think people are aware nowadays?
I think people have started getting aware because of the various initiatives taken by various people, but still there is a lag going on, especially with the college students, because there is no platform given to them, there is no one to guide them, and there is no mentorship given to these kind of people. So this is the thing which I still feel is lagging behind.
And since this fest is all about stock holding and stuff, how would you simplify stock holding for us? What are stocks? Why should one invest in them?
So I'll just simplify stock as a one unit of an asset class. Like you hold property, you hold gold, you hold other things. Just that you hold stock as one of the asset class, which you hold it for a long period of time or a short period of time, it's up to you. But you try to manage this stock and generate some basic returns, either for as an emergency fund or for generating some profits or returns from that. So this is what my definition of stock will be.
Like he simplified the stocks for us, you invest and you expect something in return. That's what basically stocks are. Of course, it has its complexities, but we here are trying to simplify that whole concept of stocks here. Hi guys. You are part of the organizers, and since you are organizing such an event, tell me why it's important to have such an event at the college level.
Most of the students do not have much knowledge regarding shares and markets and financial trading. So this event basically, imbibes such skills in students and helps them get a real view of the markets, which I believe is not much prevalent in other colleges. And I believe that this is much more very necessary for students to get such knowledge in at current stage, because in futures all of us will be investing somewhere or the other, and it is only these skills which would help us in our
and how aware are you in your financial management personally?
I myself was not at all aware when I came to the college, but when I joined D Street, we have been having a lot of research sessions, and now I have like most of the basic knowledge regarding that.
And lastly, what is that one thing you would like to say to people who are your age or who are younger than you, who might be afraid of all these concepts of stock holding and finances? What would you like to say to them?
What I'd like to say is that classroom learning is not at all enough.
All right, so cramming books is something that should not be there, just be there in your life. You should also try and experience, lots and lots of things related to finances. Hi guys, what are your names?
Harshi.
Raghav.
Jagriti.
And like he said, that such events are necessary to create awareness amongst youngsters. Why do you think and how do you think this awareness can be created amongst youngsters, especially people your age?
When I came to this college, I was not knowing much about the market and shares, but I was really interested in it. So this is a platform which provides me with information about this. Now it also invites speakers, like it allows us to hear personalities which have specialized in these fields. So these things helps us.
In past we were not aware about these markets and stocks, what are these, and even suppose my sister is there, Like she was not aware, but she asked me that you should join the society, you will get to know, and then through you I'll also get to know. So I'll pass it to my sister and she'll pass it to her friends, and this way the chase gone and on and on. So the knowledge that D Street is imparting is marvelous, and I am really thankful that I am in this and I am able to gain such a knowledge.
So financial awareness is something that is growing amongst young India. But for you guys, if you had to simplify the stock market, how would you simplify it for our viewers?
I think for simplification, I think every youngster of any college should join the societies like stock market, so that they get the basics of stock market, so that they obviously they have to study a lot for this, but in the societies of colleges they would get the basics of this.
What did you understand of the difference between what is the definition of stock and shares and stock market as a whole?
Actually, shares are basically the equity instruments of the various companies which we trade in, and they're like, that's what I got to know. And I think the knowledge I am able to gain, and I will be gaining, because no one gets complete in at a time, and I'll be gaining more and more. So I think. Yeah.
All right, so youngsters are getting financially aware, of course, and such events are giving that boost to young India to come and understand the complexities of shares and stock markets and financial management. So, you can expect a lot going on here, and of course, young India is getting aware of the kind of financial management awareness that one needs to, go about in their professional lives, and further, of course, invest in various things that they want to. Well, this is it in Buy Factor this time. You can send us your feedback at buyfactorddnews@gmail.com, or you can follow us on DD News Live. Thanks very much for joining us this time. Bye-bye.